live. All right, good Friday morning, everyone. Today's Friday, March 10th, 2023, and this is your Friday safety meeting. My name is Dennis Davis. I work in the safety department. The safety department is located in the Z building, ground level, not quite the basement, but the ground level, center of the room, right next to the pillar. So if you ever have any questions, comments, or concerns, don't hesitate to stop by and ask us what you need to ask us. We don't ever promise to have all of the answers, but we do promise that we can find some folks in the building that can get you what you need. We do this Friday morning meeting 52 Fridays a year. So we are here even right after Thanksgiving on Black Friday when Dave takes vacation. I'll be right here, hopefully, making sure we get you all the information that you need. So great thing about these meetings, all three of our locations, breakfast is free. So if you haven't eaten yet this morning, please place an order, jump in line, and get you what you need. So John Blanchett and his crew, I think John might be in Pittston this week, but his crew at all three locations do a fantastic job of providing us hungry truckers, breakfast every Friday morning. So let's give them a round of applause. All right, so also we are simulcasting live at all three of our locations here in Springfield, Missouri, also live in Pittston, Pennsylvania, and Salt Lake City, and we're live, of course, across the socials. I learned that last week, you just call them the socials. The socials, Facebook Live, YouTube, and of course now we're on LinkedIn. So we've got tons of folks watching. We've got customers watching, we've got competitors watching, we've got our fleet watching, we've got prospective drivers watching. We may even have a few folks that are watching that may want to do us some harm. But that's okay. We're transparent. We're going to be right here giving you all the information that you need. We're open to answer any questions that you have, assuming that we know the answer. Again, we don't ever pretend to be perfect, but we're here. Thank you guys for being with us this morning. So let's go east first, and let's see who we have with us this morning. We got Rick Ifford. Rick's on vacation, Dennis. Who do you have?
Hello. We have Lisa and my favorite friends here today.
All right. Good morning to the fine folks in Pittston, Pennsylvania. Thank you for being with us. In Rick's vacation absence, Lisa, tell us what's new in Pittston.
This place is rocking today, and I'm not joking. We have people walking all over, having breakfast. It is a great day, definitely.
It's always great when you get one of those Fridays that have that Good Friday vibe going on. And springtime's coming, the weather's changing, everybody's in a good mood. So that's fantastic. Anything new you want to tell us about Pittston before we go to your friends out west?
Oh, sure. You're pumping them up already. I'm sure Troy is already telling them. But, well, we have a great day today. We're supposed to get maybe a little bit of that S word coming, but I don't think it's going to be anything crazy. A few inches or so tonight into tomorrow. But I do want to say, I want to introduce you to one of my friends. Sierra, come here. So, as everyone knows, it was International Women's Day just recently, the beginning of this week. And my friend Sierra here is in our class this week. She came from Baltimore, Maryland. And I just wanted her to say hi. How y'all doing?
Well, good morning. How are you? We're glad to have you.
She said that
she ran away from the microphone so fast. She didn't want any parts of that, did she?
She got a little nervous. She did, but Highway Diamonds is a huge thing here at Prime, and I know she's going to be a future Highway Diamond, if not one in the near future, very quick. So, super great girl. She wanted a challenge. She said that she felt that Prime was going to be the fit for her.
I'm sure she's right. Prime is going to be the good fit for her. 14% female drivers. Industry average is right about 7%. So we're doing twice as good as the average. So that means we are fantastic. So thank you, Lisa. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, don't hesitate to jump on the mic.
Sounds great.
All right, let's go out west. Salt Lake City, Utah. Troy, good morning.
Huh? How's it going? Good morning.
It's been so long, Troy. It's good to hear from you. It's good to see you, and it's always a pleasure to have you folks out in Salt Lake City bright and early. Of course, it's earlier there than it is here, but you guys got the energy and ready to go.
We are happy in Salt Lake, like always. It's the altitude, I think, but it's it's a good morning. We got a full house. I got probably looking at 50 different drivers in this building now. We kind of got them trapped. We got some high winds going on, so we're not letting them leave the yard right now. They're having some big 30-mile-an-hour, 40-mile-an-hour gusts right now out there. So everybody's kind of captive here, and it's great. We're having a good time in Salt Lake.
Hey, that's not a bad marketing strategy. When you want a lot of people at the meeting, just shut the terminal down and don't let them leave.
Exactly right. The cafeteria said it'd be better if it wasn't all free, but that's okay.
We got to rethink that strategy, but we'll figure that part out. Anything new going on in Salt Lake City?
We got a bunch of people upgrading, getting new trucks here. Leasing, getting their trucks. So it's kind of nice to see a person drive out of here with a brand new truck. It's kind of fun.
When the wind's not blowing that hard, right?
When the wind's not blowing, yeah. I used to help out in leasing here, and I had a husband and wife team come in. And the wife says, I'd like to, get a new Peterbilt for my husband. And I told her that's not a good trade. Come on, that's good, right?
Wah, wah, wah. Hey, he tried it. We appreciate it, Troy. We appreciate it, as always.
Yeah, he had too many miles.
Yeah, good deal. Too many miles on it. Right. Good deal. Hey, man, we really appreciate what you do. Monday, May 22nd, we'll be out your way for our Million Mile Dinner. So we're really looking forward to that. If you haven't got your RSVPs in yet, make sure you send those out either via the old school, giving us a call, or you can use the Prime mobile app. So thank you guys so much for what you do. Thank you for being with us this morning. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, don't hesitate to jump on the microphone.
Will do. Thanks, man.
All right back here to Springfield, Missouri. Good morning. Yeah, we got a little energy here this morning. That's good. It's good. So, it's been a while since I've been able to be up here and greet the folks. So it really feels good. I see a bunch of neon vests in the crowd, and I see some on the monitor here at our other terminal. So I want to just take this opportunity to say welcome to all of our new folks. If you would, if you're new to Prime this week, stand and give us an opportunity to properly welcome you. Come on. All three of our terminals, welcome. Welcome to the Prime family. We appreciate you. We've got some veterans in the house too. We got some folks that have been here for a few years, and I won't have you old guys staying. I'll just tell you guys, welcome home. Thank you guys for being here with us. So, I've monopolized basically the whole first portion of the meeting. With me this morning, we've got Dave White. Good morning.
Good morning, Dennis.
How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. You're doing a good job, man, kicking it off. And I know you got to exit here in a few minutes, but thanks for doing that. Thanks for being here, man.
Hey, any opportunity I can get, as Bill will tell you, to have a microphone in my hand, I'm going to take it.
I know. Yeah, I know that. But I just want to give a big shout out to all of our new folks here coming into orientation this week. Welcome to Prime here. And we got a big family. We're a pretty big trucking company, but hopefully you'll feel at home here and you'll feel part of the family throughout your career here. And that's what we want. We want everybody to stay with us and be safe and operate profitably. And if you ever have questions, problems, concerns, make sure you let us know. That's what we're here for. We're here to make you successful. You're not going to see Dennis or I hauling any freight up and down a highway. It's probably a pretty good idea, especially with the way we drive. Sometimes we get a little crazy, but that's what it is. It's you guys. It's all in your hands, and we're here to support you. And we've got a great support staff. And my recommendations are you make sure you get to know your fleet manager. You have that communication. You have that rapport with them. Make sure you get to know your road assist person and also your log person. All these people are important. Road assist is maintenance on your truck, logs, hours of service. And along with logs, get to know your safety department. That's what we're here for, too. We're not going to bite your heads off. If you need help, doesn't matter what it is, we'll help you. We'll try to point you in the right direction. If we can answer the question, we'll do it for you, too, as well. So, but welcome to Prime. We got a great company going here, Dennis, and we're going to continue it on in 23.
Yeah, so just celebrating 53 years of Prime Incorporated last Friday, I think that was.
Yes.
Give that a round of applause. 53 years. So hey, you want to run and let's jump into this safety so we can get this thing rolling?
Yeah, we've this past week we had 170 DOT inspections. 110 of those were clean. So a 65% clean rate. Give yourself a round of applause. That's a good number, 65. Also, we paid out $7,600 on clean inspections last week, which remember, any clean inspection, no violations has to be on your inspection form. Drivers get, independent contractors, owner ops get $100, company drivers get $25. So make sure you get those turned in. Make sure any inspection you get, though, gets turned in as well. We need to have those from the states. If there's a violation on there, we need to review it. Every week, Dennis reviews all of them. And then generally speaking, one of us safety supervisors will review and sign off on them. And then if we see some issues, or maybe we need to get you routed in and get you through PSC class, we'll get that taken care of too. We'll do a route in. And if we have to sit down and talk with you, that's what it's about. And it's just about making us better. The more clean inspections we get, the better safety scores we're going to get out there. And that's what we're looking for. So clean inspections what drives our safety numbers, no doubt.
Absolutely. So you want to talk a little bit about what you saw on those inspections this week?
Yeah, so this past week, it's kind of different. Usually we see more maintenance, but this time we saw a few that kind of stood out to me, and there's stopping on the shoulder and not putting on your four ways, not getting out your triangles. Remember, if you break down on the shoulder of the road, you got to put on your four ways. That's the first thing, and you have within 10 minutes to get your emergency triangles out. It says in the regulations 10 minutes or as soon as possible. So, if you're broke down, you're on the shoulder, and hopefully it doesn't happen to anybody, but it does happen from time to time. Make sure you get those triangles out and get those four ways on. If you don't, officer sees you, they're going to stop you. They could cite you for it. On these that I saw, there were just warnings though. And I don't know how long the driver had been sitting there, but and once again, the reasons for stopping on shoulders, we got to remember that too as well. If your truck's broken down or you're broken down, that's the only reason to be on the shoulder of the road. So you can't be stopping, taking your 4-hour break or taking a couple-hour nap. No, get to a truck stop, get to a rest area, get to a safe location to get that taken care of. Make sure it's the right reasons. But obviously, if you're broken down or you're sick and you need to stop, not feeling well, need to take a few minute break and get to a safer location in a few minutes, that's fine. Once again, though, we need to get our emergency four ways on and we need to get our triangles out. So any questions on that one? That's pretty straightforward for the most part.
Pretty straightforward. I love it. So, hey, this past week, I was at the TCA for just a quick minute, and we'll get to kind of what we did there. But I got cornered by some talkative fellow, and he asked me just one quick question. He was like, hey, give me your elevator speech about safety. You know what an elevator speech is? It's like that 1 or 2 minute, just tell me what I need to know, just the same time it would take to go up or down in an elevator. And I said it's simple. We've been preaching this for years, and my predecessor, Steve Field, would always say these three. The first is, of course, make sure you're driving the appropriate speed for the conditions. All right. Today in Springfield, it's probably about 30 degrees right now. It's supposed to be a high of 50. Lisa talked about that S word they got coming up in the Northeast, but the appropriate speed. So
I was going to say S that ends in the W, right?
Wait, carry the one. Yeah, that's it. All right. So yeah, and make sure you're driving the appropriate speed for the conditions. What you would be able to drive here in Springfield, Missouri today, as opposed to what they'll see in the Northeast this weekend, are drastically different. The second thing, of course, is alleviate the distractions in a cab. I saw a picture from the interior of a cab this week, and I swear he had about 10 phones plugged in, iPods, just all kinds of devices. And my thought was, as many buzzes and dings and notifications, not to mention his GPS and his Qualcomm, his dash camera. We've kind of gotten to the point where, we almost driving a spaceship out here on the road. It's important that we make sure that we're focused on what's going on, alleviate those distractions inside the cab. All 48 states is perfectly legal to drive with a hands-free device. But that in itself also comes with certain risks. And of course, what's the last one, Dave?
Safety is the highest calling, Dennis.
Safety is always our highest calling. But we're looking for something a little bit more specific.
Oh, keep your following distance. But see, I'm glad you brought Bill down here. He's over here giving me hand signals.
There you go.
That's
So,
right.
yeah,
Proper following distance. That's
all
right.
right. You know, there's a lot of things as a big truck driver. You can't control everything that happens down the road. The one thing that you can control how close you are to the vehicle in front of you. All right. There's no harm in letting off the cruise. There's no harm in driving a little bit slower. Let that guy in. Let him pass. You know, he's probably not paying attention. He's probably yelling at his kids. He's probably fidgeting with a device. He may not be paying attention. So that's my quick elevator speech as it pertains to safety, Dave. So
That's perfect, Dennis. Thank you. We ready to move on?
let's keep it rolling. We've got an exciting meeting
We do.
today. We're going to be talking a little bit about safety, but we're going to talk a little bit more about how we get there and the people that make these things happen. We've got some folks that won some pretty prestigious awards that are here with us today. We've got their fleet managers. We got the folks that work with them. So we're going to take a little bit of time to celebrate them this morning. Go ahead, Dave.
Sounds good. So this past last week, I was up at the Missouri Trucking Association Safety Conference, and they recognized one of our drivers. And go ahead and pull up Thomas's picture, Brianne, please. Thomas Miller was recognized as August Driver of the Month for 2022 for the Missouri Trucking Association. So he got a nice plaque, prestige, and he got up on stage and was able to obviously get his picture taken, looked good, and did a great job. Thomas is a great driver for us. He's done many things here at Prime, and 3+ million miles, safe driver, been on America's Road Team, still does some events for him as well, and also is very actively involved here at Prime as well. So shout out to Thomas, and great job for being up there. Then next, we had kind of a surprise award. We didn't know for sure if he'd win or not, but we had Mr. Stan Casterty. Come on up here, Stan. Stan was awarded the Safety Professional of the Year for the Missouri Trucking Association. Congratulations, big guy. Great having you, man. That was awesome. So tell us a little bit about your history, Stan. How long you've been here, what you've done before, all that.
Sure. Well, I thank you. And one reason Dave White's the one that nominated me for that. He'd asked me a few months ago, "Hey, are you okay if I put your name in there?" I said, "Sure." So it was a complete surprise to me. So I've been in trucking. I grew up on a farm, been around trucks and tractors literally my whole life. I can remember tying hay on the back of a 26-foot flatbed trailer, and I was always worried about, did I get it tied well enough that it wasn't going to fall off there? So anyway, I've been around trucking almost 33 years now as a profession. I've been a Prime 13 years. In August will be my 13th year at Prime. In my history in trucking, I've been a safety supervisor. I've been a risk manager, safety manager, director of safety and operations. So a lot of gamut. So whenever the opportunity came for me to come to work at Prime, I really felt a calling, and God, I have God in my heart. I know that God has a purpose for me in my life, and whenever this opportunity presented itself, I knew this is where I needed to be. So the options and the things that I had here, having someone from the very beginning when they're first getting into the truck that we can really have influence on that individual to help them understand the importance of being a safe driver. I just felt that was for me, and I'm still very grateful for the opportunity that I have every day to help people understand how to be a safe professional driver.
Now, how long have you been here at Prime?
Almost 13. August will be 13 years.
That's what I
yeah.
thought. Okay, 13 years. So I know before here, you were president of a truck driving school here in town, OTC.
Well, I wasn't the president.
Well,
But yeah, I was the program manager for OTC's truck driver training program here in Springfield. And again, God's had his hand over me my whole life, and that opportunity allowed me the opportunity to come to Prime.
Well, I remember we were trying to recruit you out of there, and I didn't know for sure if you'd come because I've known you for a number of years beforehand. I was like, man, Stan would fit so well in this program here at Prime, but I'm glad you made that call and you were able to come in here. And last week, Susie, your wife, was able to be up there with you too as well to help celebrate. And just congratulations. That was awesome. You definitely deserve that award. You got it. So
I appreciate it.
Yep.
I really appreciate it. I appreciate all of you. Just be safe out there, okay? Thank you.
Don't run off yet. Get up here. I get to chime in here. I'm no Dennis when it comes to elegant speaking, but when you're in safety, You got to find something that kind of feeds you, something you can draw off of. And if you want someone to look up to, that you're going to hear a lot of times, just about every single meeting, you'll hear Robert say, we owe you one thing. The first thing we owe you is respect, right? No one's going to give you more respect every day than this man right here. Amen? If you've ever dealt with Stan, you know the first thing he's going to do, regardless of what the issue is, regardless of what problem he's working with you on, you're going to get respect from someone that does this every single day. This man deserves every honor he gets, because I've dealt with him on issues before, and no matter how bad that issue was, he never one time disrespected anybody or anything in the process. So it's great to have him on our team, and it feels like you've been here longer than 13 years. I didn't realize I've been here longer than you, but when I hit 23 years in trucking, I hope I can exude the professionalism that you do every day. So thank you for what you do. So like,
Then earlier this week too, but I believe it was Tuesday, we had a big party down in Orlando, and it was great to see Emily Plummer get TCA Professional Driver of the Year. Come on up here, Emily. Love to have you. Woo! Great job, man. Did you have fun?
Yes.
That was hold the mic up. No, you're okay. You're
I
good.
was nervous here.
That's okay. That's okay. So 23 years here at Prime, 3+ million mile safe driver.
Yes.
And what else have you done? You got this last year, you've been busy. How can you drive a truck?
I haven't been. That's the problem.
So you've won.
Diamond Dave, don't forget that.
There you go. Yeah. John Blomberg here, your fleet manager, your business partner. So you also was a Highway Diamond for 2022 for Prime.
Yes. Yeah.
And then you sat on the driver advisory board as well for
Yep.
Prime.
Yeah. And now I'm on the driver advisory, well, the Women of Trucking Advisory Board for the FMCSA.
That's a big job there. That's federal. That's a big area. So great. Thank you for being selected for that. But the only reason you're selected is because of the resume you have. You've done an awesome job here at Prime, and this just capped it off Tuesday night. And I saw the
Yeah.
pictures and all that. Robert was down there, and got you up on stage. You know who's got your back door up there, right? You got Robert, you got John Blomberg, your fleet manager, no doubt. So
Yeah.
that's great. Got a little check there too as well. John, you want to show that check? Look at that. $20,000. That's right. She was awarded. So. Who else you had down there? I think you had Nikki Morrison and Daryl Hopkins as
Yeah,
well.
Nikki.
Jamie over here from the
Yeah.
marketing department.
But the-
Steve Woodkey.
Yeah, but the best part
Dennis. Yeah, what's the best part?
was John and Robert and Steve and Dennis surprising me. That was the best part.
So you didn't know they were coming down?
No, and I cried.
That's
Yeah.
okay. That's
So-
good. That's awesome. Well, hey, this just shows you how much we support you and we love you, and we're so glad to have you. So that's great. Anything else you want to say?
No. Listen, I've interviewed and I've smiled and I've talked all week. And I just wanted to get back to the truck.
All right. Well, good deal. Well, congratulations, Emily. All right. John, you want to say anything?
Emily is just a fantastic person to work with. She knows more about trucking than I'll ever know. I just push buttons. She does all the work. She only called me to tell me she was mad at me 2 days ago and she's better now. And she's just awesome to work with.
That's that
Congratulations.
That's that business relationship, right?
Yeah, but you know what? I will say this though, if I need anything, I can just call John. Even being a 23-year driver and this OTIF thing, I was able to call John and say, hey, you know what? Explain this to me. And he explained it to me. And I can go to him for anything. And if he needs us to do something, we do it. We try our best not to turn anything down. We take everything that he offers us, almost everything. But I mean, John is the best fleet manager at Prime. No, he's not hiring. He don't need anybody else right now. But he's the best. I mean,
That's good. Well, I'm going to have a couple other people.
Well, I just
Daryl,
gotta make
come on up here. We'll get Robert up here
one
too.
comment real quick. And that is, besides being a fantastic person and being very beautiful, you should have seen her at this event. She went and got dolled up, and I'm telling you, she looked like a model. Her hair was incredible. Her dress, she was fantastic. So
Well, that was,
She's
that was
not-
Nikki. Nikki called me and she's like, hey, listen, I need you.
I bet I've heard her say, hey, listen, at least 1,000 times. Just listen, Daryl. So anyway, I just want to say she is the whole package.
Absolutely. Emily, you were great up there. We're so proud of you. Kind of brought a tear to my eye. You know, it's just proud to be associated with you. You're such a quality person, safe driver. I mean, you're everything that we're looking for drivers, and I'm just proud to be associated with you. So thank you very much.
Now, Emily, I do have one favor for you before you run off, because I heard a lot of stuff said, and then the one thing that I really dwelled on was you let John go by 2 days without letting him know you were mad at him. So I'm gonna have my wife call you. You guys talk, maybe become friends. She could use some guidance in that area.
Here's what happens. What happens is that I'm mad, but then I call my friends and they talk me off the ledge. So then I realize this is a woman thing. This is not John. I'm just woman emotions. So I had to tone it down. And then I let him know, like, could you tell by that message I was mad? And he's like, no. I'm like, okay, I was mad, but I wasn't mad at you.
Well, in that case, I'm not gonna give you her number because she'll just keep you mad. So we won't do that.
Well, congratulations, Emily. Thank you very much. That's awesome, man. Great award. Bill, besides that, we stayed busy down there too as well. We also were selected for the 9th year in a row, one of the best fleets to drive for. As you can see, this trophy over here, that's what this resembles or recognizes Prime as. And I would pick it up, but I'm afraid it would probably, I'd probably drop something.
Don't do
Wouldn't be a
it,
good
because
idea.
it's got, I don't know if any of you all have seen Titanic. This is how important this award is. That is the heart of the ocean right there on top of it.
There you
They
go.
found it and they gave it to us on a trophy.
Also, the 2nd year in a row being in a Hall of Fame as well. So
Who votes on that, Dave?
that's a good question, Bill. I don't know.
I bet it's drivers. How else would you know if you're the top driver to drive for?
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, great recognition for our company, for Emily, for all of us. So thank you, Prime.
And you know,
At the end
none of
the day,
us,
no
none of
doubt.
us get that
No.
work, guys.
No.
That is from the work that every single one of you do every single day out there making the sacrifices away from your family. When you see these awards, Dave didn't get it, I didn't get it. This is your all's award. Come by, look at it, because every award that we present up here was received by you guys.
No doubt. You're the ones that do all the hard work and bumping the docks and being away from home and getting it done out on the road. And we appreciate that. And recognition like that really fuels us and drives us to get better, continue to get better. I was talking to another driver up here. He goes, what separates Prime from everybody else? I said, couple words I don't hear around here is that's good enough. You don't hear that here. That's good enough. No. We want to continue getting better. Even we may solve a couple issues here or there, but we're going to continue to tweak those and even get better and better. And that's what separates us, no doubt. We want to be the best and we want to continue being the best. And that's due to our drivers. That's it. That's what you all deserve. You deserve to make a great paycheck and be home and as much as you can. But this is a tough business, no doubt. And it's your dedication that makes it all happen. So thank you very much to all of our operators out there.
Something I want to bring up when you talk about making a good paycheck. I know Dennis went through the inspections and stuff and you and him covered it, but one topic that I need to bring up because I told our citations department that I would do it, and that is the IFTA decal on your tractors. Get it on there. When you talk about making a good paycheck, I don't want you giving any of that money back to any of these municipalities or state governments, right? For a ticket that you received, keep that money for yourself. But in the past 10 days since you've got until March 1st to get that decal on your tractor. If you don't have it on there after that, they start issuing tickets. We've received 29 of those tickets in the past 10 days, and they average over $300 a ticket. That is too much money that you're giving back for just a simple decal. Make sure if you're through the terminal, check your truck, get it on there. If you don't have one, if you need one, get a hold of the permit department, let them get one out to you. But we need to get us on there before we roll. That's an easy violation. I mean, that DOT officer can ride right up next to you going down the road and see you don't have it on there and pull you over and give you a ticket for it. We got one last week that was $800 in Pennsylvania for not having that little decal on there. That decal is not going to cost you anything. Get one, get it on there, and don't give any of your money away.
No doubt, because every state, they're cash strapped. They're looking for stuff like that. That's an easy violation. So, be prepared. Make sure you got those IFTA stickers on. So, you want to introduce our next speaker? That catch you off guard a little
You
bit?
did.
Kind of
You
like
did.
Dennis
Well,
caught me earlier.
Oh, absolutely. I'll never hesitate. Heather, if you would come up here. Anyone ever heard of Cardinal Sleep? Wonderful partnership that Prime has with some of the greatest people in the sleep apnea industry. She does so much for our drivers. She is such a wonderful advocate for just between our drivers and the issues with sleep apnea. I myself had to go to Heather to talk me off a ledge when I was first diagnosed with it. It is very hard to hear those words. If you're new to this industry and you didn't know anything about sleep apnea and you're diagnosed with it, it's going to be hard. Don't let anybody tell you it's going to be easy. You're not just going to put that mask on. You're going to use it 8 hours a night, and it's going to be super simple. If you think it is, just go like this for the rest of the day and see if it feels good. It doesn't. You're going to have to get used to it, and there's no better person to help you through the process. What did you and I talk? Maybe I went through 5 masks with you before I found
Probably,
one that fit me and fit how I sleep. And she's going to work with you on that process. And her entire team all along the way will do everything they can to make the transition as simple as possible. So utilize them. Don't feel like you're on your own. When you're diagnosed with it, you get the machine, you get out on your truck. Don't feel like, well, that's it. Nobody's going to help me with it. Now I've got to do it. That's not correct. They will pick up the phone and they will walk you through each step of the way. So make sure that you are if you have any issues whatsoever, reach out to them. There's no way that you guys would turn anybody down that needs help, whether they're on your machine or anybody else's, right?
Definitely not. No, we are here to help.
I didn't want to take any more of your time. Go ahead.
No, we are here to help. Good morning, everybody. Gosh, I was just over there, like cheerleading over there for everybody. It was a great start. I'm going to try to keep it all positive too. Congratulations to Stan and Emily. Those are just so fantastic. But I do have good news about things this morning. If you are new to Prime or new to any information about sleep apnea, we have some information for our drivers that are already on therapy. The ResVent devices, we've talked a lot about those in the last few weeks, the last few months. So there is good news. So if you are on a ResVent device, and again, those are drivers that were dispensed beginning in January of last year, then there is an app available now for you to be able to access and see your own data, see if it's uploading, see if you're connected to Wi-Fi. So it's really working out well. The app is called Res Assist, and we have information, the link for you for Android and iPhone devices. So we can get those, your fleet manager should have that information. You can always contact us and we can get that to you as well. But the app is called Res Assist. So those are for ResVent drivers, and I really think it's going to help you all a lot. You're going to be able to see your own data, and if it's there, then that means that we have it as well. So that's a big thing. I know that that company that we've been working with for a year, they're doing everything they can to try to make it more streamlined for this industry. It's kind of a new thing for them, so they're trying to make it work as well. So this is just one more step that's going to make things easier for you. There's also another software update for those devices, which I know that a lot of people have done a couple of them, but every software update actually, it makes things work a little better and streamlines them better. So if you can get through here or Salt Lake and just bring your device in to Cardinal Sleep, if you're on a ResVent, we can do another software update as well. If you are in Pittston, give me a call. If you're only solely work out of that terminal, give me a call and I will work something out with you and try to make that work for you for sure. So that's the big news on the ResVent devices. It's really positive. The app is working great. We also now we have ResMed devices available now. So I know that that was something that everybody was kind of waiting on. So if people who've been waiting to replace devices, those ResMed users usually are pretty loyal to the ResMed devices. We have those available for purchase, so give us a call. I know there's been several drivers that were waiting on that. So that's another great thing. Our industry's finally turning around and we're able to get things again. Supply is looking so much better, which means that we're just going to be able to help you that much better. Salt Lake City, I have some news about that. We are having some staffing changes. So there is going to be a little bit in reduced hours out there. They're going to be open Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So I just want to make sure that everybody knows that. If you need anything on any other day, get a hold of us, call us, and we will make sure that we have it bagged and ready for you and left with someone there at that terminal that you can make contact with and get what you need if it's during the hours that there is not anyone in the sleep lab. And that's after hours, on the weekends, not just Monday or Friday, but so any day that you might need something and you're going through Salt Lake City, just make sure you give us a call ahead of time and we'll make sure that you get it, that it's left there for you. So that's one thing I wanted to talk about. Scheduling was another thing. There's been lots of numbers, higher numbers are coming in. So we're having, more people that are waiting to get scheduled. So just be sure that if you have a referral that you schedule a week ahead of time if you can. 2 weeks is even better. I know that, it sneaks up on you fast and you realize, you're just a few days from being at a terminal. But the farther out you can schedule, the better it is for you. Our big goal is, just to make sure that you have very little downtime. So even if you think you're going to be here next Thursday and, you don't make it in, at least get on the schedule. And that way we'll move you to the very first opening that we have that's within a few days of that. So just schedule. And if something, doesn't work out, we'll make it work for you so that we can get you done and you have very little downtime. That's our goal. Very little downtime for you. Just looking at my list real quick to make sure. I did bring some handouts for everybody. Health. This is all about your health. And sometimes when I'm relaying all the information to you, I forget to mention that, this is completely about your health. So if you don't know anything about sleep apnea, I have lots of information that I can provide you. The handouts that we have show you that if you do have sleep apnea and you leave it untreated, you're 90% more likely to have a stroke. You are 57% more likely to have cardiac arrhythmia, 76% more likely to have congestive heart failure, and the list just goes on. So it is a silent disorder that causes very bad detrimental things to you if you leave it untreated. This is, the safety meeting, so it is about being safe, but your health is so important for everybody that cares about you, and everybody here, we care about you too. So
Thank you very
I got
much,
those handouts for you, and I also have pens for everybody.
Now, before you run off, does anybody have any questions for Heather? Thank you, Heather. Let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you.
I will say when it comes to sleep apnea, if you're on a CPAP machine, the minimum requirement for each night's 4 hours. To be considered compliant, you got to be 70%, but that's not good enough, right? How would that be if we only got 70% of the loads delivered on time? We wouldn't be very good, would we? This is about your quality of life. If you're diagnosed with sleep apnea, this is about your health. We truly believe a healthier driver is a safer driver. So don't just use the machine 4 hours a night. I want you to get the benefit of the machine the entire time you're in bed. You should be 100% every day. If you care about your health, your well-being, your family, because if something happens to you, it impacts your family, right? Use that to drive you. Don't just use the machine half the time. Use it all the time. I know Dave's 100% compliant all the time. I'm 100% compliant all the time because I want every single benefit I can get out of that machine. It helps me feel more rested. When you first get on it, you're going to struggle with that and not believe it, but it is true. Your internal organs are not getting the oxygen they need to survive when you're not on the machine. So don't take it off halfway through the night. You need to use it the entire night because we care about you and your health. So make sure you do the same.
Not only that, you sleep a heck of a lot better. You find out real quick.
Yeah, if I have to go on a trip and forget to take it.
Oh, yeah.
I know it. And everybody
Real
around me
quick.
knows it because I'm grumpy the next day.
Yeah, no doubt. So, all right, good information. Any questions for Heather before she gets out here? She'll be here after the meeting too as well if you need to come up. Don't forget the neat pins over here. They're really nice pins. So,
and if she didn't say, they're located in the base below the cafeteria next to the doctor's office.
Yep,
so
there
if
you
you need
go.
anything, go down there.
All right. Next up, we're going to bring up Justin Kaufman from our maintenance department. We've got some updates on new trailers that are coming in and operate maybe just a little bit differently, and Justin's going to cover that with us. So thank you, Justin.
Thank you, Dave. Good morning, everybody. It has been a very difficult, several years as far as getting equipment. I think we've talked about that in a lot of meetings. Trailers are no different. So I'm going to touch a little bit on reefer trailers and what we're doing. We continue to get new trailers out of, Eagle Pass that are built down in Mexico, utility trailers. Some good things. And one thing I'll say is that, because of production issues, because of supply issues, we were given a spec. We kind of went through the spec and made some adjustments. But, what every trailer OE was trying to do was to try to streamline things and try to create efficiencies, increase production, get us more equipment, more trailers. And so, there were a lot of things that we won on with utility and a few things that we lost on. But at the end of the day, this is a photo of one of our new utility trailers. One thing that you'll notice is the priming decal on the reefer unit, so that if you are in a reefer yard somewhere, and you're or at a customer of ours, and you're trying to identify which trailers are prime trailers, you'll see that decal up there, which is really good. But these will have Grody lights. They do have Grody lights on them versus truck light, and so we're continuing to take delivery and get them staged in Eagle Pass and get Michelin tails on them and utility side skirts. Moving on to the next slide, as we continue to try to bring in more trailers to cycle out our older trailers. One thing that I wanted to mention is that we did buy, and you're seeing them out there on the road, 100 CIMC Vanguard trailers from a dealer. And so, these have Transtex, side skirts on them, 23-foot, 30-inch side skirts on them, and, their top kit or their tail package as well. But this is just one group of 100 trailers, 247,000 through 247,099. These trailers have a digital right way gauge on them. And so some of you may have heard that. Now, what I'll say is that, this is just a test for us. We're exploring digital right way gauges. We saw that this trailer group had them. I was out there in the plaza last night messing around with a couple of them. But what I will say is that today, these are not calibrated. We are in the process and will be in the process of getting these things calibrated with empty weights and loaded weights and getting a video out there on the internet on how they work and how to calibrate them. So unless you see a calibration date in that door, they aren't calibrated today, but we are working on that. So I think that was a question that got brought up. But also, starting in April, we're going to get 175 Hyundai trailers. That is the plan. Granted, these are going to be scattered through the rest of the year, heavy on the end of the year loaded. So most of them will come towards the tail end of the year. But our first 10 will roll off there. They'll be built in Tijuana and brought across the border. But just wanted to touch on that. And, one thing I'll say is that as, we get these new trailers and maybe potentially, new trailer specs or new trailer manufactured trailers or new specs, please let me know or, let our maintenance team know if you find an issue with one, if something, if you'd like to see something different. Let us know if you like something and let us know if you don't like something. I think the more feedback that we get, as we go through this process, the better off we'll be. So moving on to the next slide, there was, a change in emission regulations or California Air Resource Board emission regulations this year. And so we are changing, Carrier and Thermo King have changed their compliancy level for particulate matter. Particulate matter is that black suit that you would see, probably back in the 60s or 70s out of tailpipes, right? So, CARB came out with a more stringent particulate matter, dropping it way down from 0.4 to like 0.03 parts per million. And so in that is that we have tested some S700 Thermo Kings, and I think many of you have probably seen, some of you have pulled those S700 Thermo Kings. And they perform very, very well. They meet the new carb guidelines. We've got them on. I can tell you that they were a very fierce competitor with Carrier's X7500 unit, the compliant unit of last year. And so, we liked them. We got some decent feedback. We'd love to hear your feedback, but, we are going to be getting at least a couple hundred more of those, and most likely more. But, that was great. Carrier is going to be launching their 7700 unit, and you may have seen some press release on that. It's very similar to their 7500 unit, but in order to meet this particulate matter level, they've got to go like Thermo King with a common rail fuel system, a diesel oxidation catalyst. For the most part on the Carrier side, there's not going to be a lot of change, if any, in the operation of the unit, but it'll go on behind the scenes where we're cleaning up this particulate matter a little bit cleaner. So you might watch out, the Carrier 7700, will be coming in May and June, and we'll start putting it on build. So, we're really anxious to see how that compares with the S700. And so, I just wanted to kind of give everybody a little update on that. And, another thing that that I kind of ran across and got brought up to my attention was this was a trailer that we were loading, and the bottom rail broke out of it. And, one thing, and you've probably, all seen damaged bottom rails where they're broke, and, it's so important that anytime you see a broke rail, that you stop, you contact Road Assist, and you get a game plan for that, because, those are the four main, the rails, the top rails and the bottom rails, are main support beams. And, of course, the posts all make is a level of support as well, the posts that go through the trailer. But what we sometimes see is, things run along the bottom rail, maybe push it in, and they'll crack the bottom rail almost like at the floor. So you'll see this hairline crack that runs down the trailer at the bottom rail. That is also a no-go. I mean, we got to send photos into Road Assist, because, that'll split, that rail's technically cracked, and it'll split open with a heavy load on it like that. So, once again, if you run across trailers, that you're picking up and, and you're inspecting them, you find that en route to where it's cracked or broke, or during your post trip, make sure to contact Road Assist so that we can get a game plan. May involve a transload, may involve angling the trailer, but we don't want to have this happen. And, I'll be around after the meeting. Go ahead, Julie. Yeah, I mean, and like I said, that's an excellent point. That's why I bring it up. We catch these damaged, these broken bottom rails, broken top rails. We get photos in, or in Road Assist, and we those are obvious things. But and like I said, I think for anybody that's in the industry, just looking out for those cracks, those hairline cracks that crack all the way through the bottom rail along the floor, that may be more likely missed than something that's so obvious. So that we've got to make sure that we catch. But I can tell you that, myself, all the reps, our Andy Bell, our Carrier rep, Philip Goller, our Thermo King rep will be around at the meeting. If you have any questions on equipment spec, operation, so.
With the new Carrier and Thermo King reefer units that are getting put into service, how is this going to affect independent contractors with regards to fuel consumption in the reefer units?
That's a really good point. And, what I'll say is that, whenever we looked at the comparison of switch on time versus run time in between a 7500, the Carrier unit that you're used to pulling, right? The X7500 Carrier unit and the S700 Thermo King, it was incredibly comparable whenever you look at switch time, fuel economy per engine hour, And that's why I say that unit, you know, it competed very, very well from fuel, from repair, from switch versus run. So the S700, their Carrier 7700 that they're launching, you know, we've seen some reports of 10 to 20% better. I mean, but we don't really, you know, we don't have those units to test. But the second that we get, you know, a group of those hunters, we're going to be looking very closely at that fuel per engine hour runtime, you know, and seeing how it competes. But what we're being told, you know, this 7700 that's being launched, there's a 3-speed, and Andy would love to come up here and talk about it, but there's an eco mode to it, you know, so that it actually drops that RPM down even lower whenever it can, but yet still maintain product temp. Any other questions? All right, thank you.
All right, good job, Justin. Appreciate it. Justin will be around too after the meeting. So if you got questions or you didn't want to talk into Mike this morning, whatever, see Justin or give him a call too as well. So next, Bill, why are we wearing red today?
Remember everyone deployed. We're
There
not
you
just
go.
all Chiefs fans around here. We got to remember those that served our great country and that are serving right now.
No doubt. Ardus, can you come on up?
Did he get it good?
Did I say your name right? All right. Good deal. Glad having you up here. So how long you been with Prime?
I'm just about to enter TNT training.
So you just getting out, getting TNT, go with a trainer for 30,000?
50,000 now.
50,000? Okay, that's right. They did. I forgot that. Yeah. So that was a test. I failed that one too. So I'm 0 for 2 today. So good deal. What do you think of Prime so far?
I like it. I studied probably about 50 companies before I decided to come here.
Why'd you pick us?
The number one was the training. You know, there's a lot of training out there that's like 2 weeks and put you in a truck and you're going to be on probation 90 days or something like that. I didn't like that.
Good deal. Well, you picked the right company if you want to get trained, right? No doubt. So, and where are you from? Where's hometown?
Branch, Louisiana.
All right. How far down there is that? Down there in the Gulf?
We're about 20 minutes from Lafayette.
Oh, there you go. Know where that's at. So good deal. You got some good eating down there too.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We have a saying, you want the best food in Louisiana? Drive into Branch, knock on anybody's door and say, I'm hungry.
I have to remember that one. That's a good one. So served in the military?
Yes, sir.
What branch?
The Army.
How many years?
Can't say.
Can't say? Okay,
No.
good deal. Well, appreciate your service.
Okay. Well, do we have any other veterans here today? Yeah. If you stand and be recognized for your service.
All right. Thank you for your service too, Ardus. All right, thanks for coming up here this morning too. Good luck on that TNT training as well. So we don't have Steve Woodkey today, but we do have somebody that's just as good, I think.
Like a mini-me.
Like a controller from our leasing and pedigree truck sales. We're going to bring Daryl Hopkins back up here, and great to have him talk and say a few words. Thank you, Daryl.
All right, I'm not putting myself in Steve's category, but and this was kind of last minute. So I thought I got a hodgepodge of a couple things that I want to talk about. A couple of them came out of Driver Advisory Board, and Driver Advisory Board is your peers that are representing you to us, saying, hey, here's some things you guys need to be looking at. And so a couple that impacted me personally, or I felt I need to take the lead on, was one was mattresses. You know, they mentioned, they said, hey, there's mattresses, old mattresses just showing up in spots around the yard, by dumpsters, in a random parking spot by where a truck was. And so what's happening is, as folks go to the company store and they want to upgrade their mattress, because we sell some really nice ones in the store, and they want to upgrade, and then they get out their truck and they realize, well, I got to do something with this old one. So our detail shop is where that mattress goes. It does not go in a dumpster. That just clogs up the whole dumpster. It doesn't just go in a random spot. This is our yard. This is our home, and we want to be proud of it. So let's not trash it up. Let's take it to the detail. They'll take care of it. Second thing that was mentioned to me was our wash bay, and it was really washouts only. And that's been a topic for a couple meetings, that we wanted a washout only lane, because sometimes we're here, we got to get a load, we're in a hurry. pick up the trailer and now realize it's not washed out. So we're going to try to address that in several different ways. It's difficult to make a washout only lane because that then pushes all the rest of the capacity into two other lanes. But here's what we are doing and what we've already taken steps to do, and we're going to make it, I think, even better than a washout only lane. So 3 goals. One, first was out of our 5 wash bay lanes, we really only use 3 because the other 2 get used for other stuff. So we're fixing that to start with. We've already got the 4th bay emptied out and it's now ready to run. And in fact, it has ran some days when we already started to get a bigger line. So 1, we've got additional bay. That's number 1. 2, we've had some issues with the 3 bays. We put a lot of equipment through these things, more than any manufacturer ever plans on. And so they've started to break down some. Well, we weren't really prepared to handle that very well because the guys that service it come from quite a distance away. So we've got a guy we've been training on site. We've now started picking up parts and inventory so he can fix it. And he's pretty good. He's done a good job. So we're going to repair these faster. But what we are also going to do is, if that bay's down, we'll immediately get the 5th bay open if we have to, so that we service that, move those. Because what we're doing in that 5th bay is just de-IDing trailers. Well, we can just take those guys, run them down to the broken bay, and then open the good one. So that's the second thing we're doing. And then the third thing we're doing is we're starting to try to be proactive. You shouldn't pick up a trailer that needs a washout. It should just be ready. So there's where we're trying to get to. That's the real answer. So we've already started working with Road Assist as one example. And so they're going to notify us after they work on a trailer and leave insulation and rivets and whatever inside. And they're going to bring it right over to the wash bay and we're going to take care of it. So you don't pick it up and say, geesh, it's got rivets in it. So we're taking several steps there. And you should see some great improvement over, say, like the next 30 days. But give me feedback. If you're not seeing it, I need to know. And we're going to keep addressing it to make it better and better and better. So anyway, that's just 2 things I wanted to touch on. The final thing I wanted to say, really, before I get out from in front of you guys, is, gosh, if you're sitting here today and you're not proud of this company, there is something wrong. I mean, Professional Driver of the Year, Best Fleets to Drive For Hall of Fame. Stan gets the Safety Guy Award. I mean, we got an ambassador trophy while we were there because Robert and I are on the board of directors. They presented an ambassador trophy to us. I mean, we are killing it. We are a great company. And really, it's because we have great people. And I mean, when I'm talking people, that's all of us. That's not these people up here. It's this room. I mean, we have great people. And those great people all became because we have an owner, had a vision, he's following it. So with that, I'd like to introduce Robert Lowe, our owner.
Well, Daryl, just because you said all those nice things about me, I'm still gonna, I'm still gonna tell the truth about your front yard. Now why do you have that couch and that old TV set and that washing machine in front? That's pretty hillbilly. I mean, that's like throwing the use. That's pretty hillbilly right there. I mean, that's kind of like throwing that mattress out on the ground. No, that's not what Daryl's about. That's not what we're about. So if you all help us with that, we certainly appreciate it. We try to keep the place looking good. We have some green grass and we have some shrubbery and some landscaping. Daryl calls it landscaping, but it's landscaping, Daryl, around here. And that's really another way to show you. I mean, like our facilities, a lot of folks say, man, we love our drivers. Have you heard that? We love our drivers. Well, I challenge them. How do they show it? Are they putting the investments and the capital to show the drivers, provide good facilities? Our showers are getting kind of bad up there, but you notice there's some new ones going in, and I hope y'all like them. You guys tried the new showers?
Yeah, they're doing a good job.
You are taking a shower. Okay. Yeah, Those new showers are pretty nice, and we're gonna have some more of them up there. You know, talking about new stuff, this new equipment, I mean, it's a godsend. I mean, who likes to run old, ratty, broke down equipment? And, you know, this independent contractor over here talking about the fuel efficiency, it's a very astute observation. You know, as these trailers get older, they degrade. And then it's hurt my soul to run this up to 6-year-old equipment, maybe just a little bit past, you know, this last couple of years, this post-pandemic period has been tough on getting the new equipment. And we thrive on new equipment. We're going to keep you in new equipment. You know, run it 2, 3, 4 years and ship it to the competitor and let them put up with it. Because as that trailer degrades, guess what? It burns more fuel. So that's why we UA test them. New trailer burns less fuel than old trailer. Yeah, the refrigeration equipment, that technology is improving, but also it's just the integrity of the trailer and the degradation of the insulation in it that's a big factor and impacts your profitability. And we want to do everything we can to make you as successful and as profitable as we can. You know, it's a tough market out there. So we're fighting for these customers. And, you know, we talked about our on-time delivery percentage and how that impacts us. And why we're so intense on it is because we provide that service that our competitors can't do. That brings volume. And just as importantly, the volume is what? The rate at which we're performing the service, the charges we're getting. And when we're doing it on time and others can't do it, it enables us to get more money for what we're doing. So let's keep that up. I appreciate what you all do. Thank you very much. Welcome to our new folks. You made a good decision coming here. Let us prove that to you. God bless you. Please be safe.